Hey guys, welcome back to Me Being Cheap. So I want to tell you a little bit about, let's see if I can get this bigger, the history of my Harbor Freight greenhouse. So if you were to purchase this today, it is about $849.99, about $850. I'm sure you could probably come up with a coupon. They're saying this is comparable to Parlam. I guess that's another brand. And that their product is $1,188. And so by shopping at Harbor Freight, you would save $338. Okay, so I thought I had saved my receipt, and maybe it is here somewhere, but I purchased and erected this greenhouse in 2015. It's currently at the end of February 2021. So this thing has been standing between 5 and 6 years. And so there's a lot of Kansas weather that plays into play. And I am actually filming with a new GoPro, and it has a screen where I can see what I'm doing, but it just went blank. So let me see. All right, so excuse me while I learn how to use this new camera. So this is the owner's manual, and I thought I had stapled the receipt to it. Evidently not. Pretty sure I paid around $600 for it. Again, that was between 5 and 6 years ago. So this is a picture of the greenhouse, and we're actually going to go outside here in a little bit. But I want to tell you a couple things that I'm trying to point out when I'm out there. So first of all, the doors that go on this greenhouse, you can't really see it here, but the two doors are sliding doors, and they kind of slide together, kind of like a closet. And there's a track on the top, a track on the bottom, and the doors are really junky. And that is also the hardest part of the greenhouse to actually build. So it wasn't too long after that the doors started falling off, and this little piece up here actually broke. And so there is a brace in there to actually hold that up. So last year at one point, Michael took off the old doors and built some wooden doors. So that's one improvement, and a lot of people do actually change out the doors on these greenhouses. Now, a couple things that I would recommend if you purchase one of these greenhouses, before you put these panels up, and I did not know this and I didn't do it, so it looks really bad, but before you put the panels up, on the edge of the panels, lay a little bead of silicone to close those cells, because what happens is moisture gets in there, and then you have a lot of moss and mold and mildew, that sort of thing, and then bugs will actually get down in there too. So I've had some sort of bug that lays cocoons in there, or some sort of web. The other thing that I did previously, which probably saved this greenhouse from the Kansas wind, are these panels on the side. I took some self-tapping screws and screwed the panels in, partly because they kept blowing out. And then where the clips held the panels in on these upright bars, I siliconed the clip to the bar. So those are a few recommendations I would make if you're going to get one of these greenhouses. Now, I don't really know if I would recommend getting one of these. It is 10 by 12, so that's a generous size for the average backyard gardener. And like I said, I did pay around $600 for it. I've had it between 5 and 6 years. So that's, if you factor it out that way, it's about $100 a year. Depreciation, I guess you could say. Now, I'm going to go outside and show you some of the improvements that we're doing. And so let me turn this off, and then I'm going to take you outside. The reason why I was showing you this part inside is it's actually pretty windy. So I'm going to try and stand inside the building and tell you a few things. All right, check back in with you in a few. All right, welcome back. We are in the greenhouse now. So the first thing I was telling you about are these little cocoon, or these webs that get in here, and they look junky, and there's really no way to get it out. The next thing that I need to tell you about is this material really does not last on the roof at all. And so we are actually or I should say Michael is actually in the process of replacing these panels. And we did not order replacement panels. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. So let me kneel down here. First of all, this is a roof panel, and it got really weak. You can see it's got this crease where it bends. And so no matter what I did, it kept coming off. No matter how many clips I put on or how much silicone that I used. Once it gets crease in there, it'll pop right out. And so this one has not stayed in place for a very long time. Now, these hailstones make little holes. So this thing is kind of trashed with holes. This whole thing is very brittle. The other thing, I don't know if you can see this, but it's very discolored. You get a lot of moss and mold and mildew, that sort of thing. Let me stand back up here. And as a result, this is what your greenhouse roof looks like. And as you can see, there's lots of holes in it too. And I can only imagine that that is probably from hailstones. But some of those holes go all the way through. So if you were using this in the wintertime, you're going to lose a lot of your heat through the holes. So we are in the process of replacing those. And then some of the other things, I mentioned that there was a, I don't know if you can see up here, I had to put a brace in here because this cross member here actually broke. It was taking a lot of flex from the doors. And then these are the wooden doors that Michael built. And this one got a little warped, so we'll have to probably do something to that. But then over here on the outside, if you get one of these, I recommend that you use some self-tapping screws and screw these panels in place and then cover that with some silicone. And that'll actually keep your panels in place. But this thing's a mess.
Go inside and see the screws.
What screws?
Yeah, inside. Outside.
Outside. Alright, and Michael put in some more self-tapping screws to hold these panels in place. So they're not going anywhere. So if you buy one of these, you need to do this first. We are going to go with a gravel floor. Previously, we just had a dirt floor and some paver stones, but we're going to go with gravel. And other than that, this was a little rack I had built. It's standing upside down right now. But this is what I trellised a lot of my plants on previously. And this is kind of a close-up of these panels, these roof panels. And you can see how damaged they are compared to, say, I'll hold this up here, compared to a wall panel. The roof really takes a beating. The walls not so much, other than the bugs that have made their nest in there. All right, we'll fill you in a bit. Right, getting a little later in the afternoon, around 5 o'clock, and you can see 2 new panels up on the roof and the difference between the old panels and the new panels. And here's 2 more. These panels aren't really blue, that's a protective film. Here's 2 more. We'll get those up in those empty spots. All right, thanks for watching. We'll check back in after a bit. See, some of the roof has been repaired. I won't go into details with that right now. Michael did get the gravel in. He used some of the paving stones that I had used originally. I had gotten these for free. I just had to haul them, and I painted them black to try and help retain the temperature. We took those out, put down black plastic to try and stop the weeds, and then had some gravel delivered. These are concrete mixing trays, buckets, totes from Lowe's. And Michael was able to get these filled today. So he used garden soil, potting soil. He put some perlite in there and some peat moss. So we are getting ready to move. We got some brassicas growing downstairs. I'll show you those in just a minute. Getting ready to plant those. I think it's getting to where we're not going to have another freeze. It is into March 2021. I don't know. It's been crazy weather so far this year, so we'll see. This is the old pond. We're going to cut that plastic out, and we've got a grate that's going to go on top of that. So that's that. I'll come around here. All right, welcome back. Here's an update. So the roof is all fixed. Michael's got tons of tomato plants, tons of pepper plants, more tomatoes and eggplants. And then we've got a couple grow beds in here that we have not planted yet. We're going to do some lettuce and greens and that sort of thing. And over here we've got more of the same. Again, we need to get these planted. These are currently plants that are in pots. So plenty of space. I don't think we're going to do anything with this broccoli and cauliflower. Some of it's already bolted. It's a little late for that. We're already into May. So that's an update on this. We'll have more room once we get the bags of dirt out. And just want to show you a couple other things. I'll come around on this side. These are the old panels. Trying to get rid of those in the trash, a few at a time each week. So I have potatoes, planted these in grow bags. First time I've done this. Bit of an experiment. We'll have to see how that turns out. And then around here, Michael's got all the herbs planted in grow bags. Looking good. Pretty excited about this. We can actually move these around where we need to. Save our garden space for something else. And then in the wintertime, we can bring these back down in the cellar and overwinter them and have fresh cooking herbs year round. All right, thanks for watching.